Hello and welcome back to OC Avery. I'm Oliver, and in today's video I've got really quite an exciting one for you. We've got more natives starting to build, developments from birds that we haven't yet bred this year. We've also got some young natives nearly ready to fledge the nest. We've also got some more nests of young natives to look at. We've got some more youngsters rung, we've got some young canaries, and we've even got some exciting starts from the mule and hybrid pairs. So we're going to visit all of these in today's video, so I hope you enjoy, and please make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. So we're going to make a start in this bird room, and specifically my venison cabinet. Now, I've already seen that quite a few people have got young greenfinches on the sticks now, and greenfinches are generally earlier nesters, so you might even get nests by the end of March with the greenfinches. I know some have had even earlier. And with that, there are quite a few people who've already got young greenfinches on the sticks. Now, we're going to visit mine today. They're not far off getting, starting to jump the nest, and we've got some more to look at as well, and more nests. And something which baby greenfinches especially, the youngsters are prone to, but also the adults, so pretty much just greenfinches in general, they're prone to coccidiosis. And how I treat that is Baycox. Now, this is Baycox in 2.5% concentration, and I'm giving them that. So all my greenfinches in the adult pairs get this once a month and get 3 ml per litre. They do need it slightly stronger, just because it is something that they tend to struggle with a lot more. Now, the young greenfinches, I'm giving them that pretty much every 2 weeks. And obviously at the moment we haven't got any on the sticks, but we will very soon. So I'm going to let them get on the sticks, find the feet with that and be comfortable. And once I'm comfortable with that, we're going to get them on some Baycox in 3 ml per litre. And really all that means is that we're going to be doing that for a few days every 2 weeks, because they are quite prone to being light. So that's a tip from today's episode, which I hope you find useful, is having Baycox for greenfinches and young greenfinches to prevent them from going light. So the first birds we're going to visit is going to be a catch up with the Canaries. So we're going to visit the feeder pairs and the nuclear pairs, and we're going to see how they're getting on, the developments with those guys, and we've got a few move abouts as well with some youngsters, so we'll take a look at all that now. So we're off to a start with the yellow dimorphics. So in here we've got some chicks. So we have 3 yellow dimorphic chicks in there. Now you're going to ask what happened to the goldfinch eggs. Well, one of them turned just to be dead in shell, so never hatched, and sadly the other one passed after a few days, I believe. The chick hatched a day before these yellow dimorphics, and then from there it ended up with these 3 hatching. I think these guys were just slightly bigger, and the goldfinch didn't get fed much. Now, I did top it up with my hand rearing formula, and I did try and foster it under another nest just to see if something else would feed it, but sadly nothing took it. So we have actually lost both goldfinch chicks, which was a shame, but we have got some news on the goldfinches a little later on. But anyway, from there we've got 3 yellow dimorphic chicks in there. So we've now got a pair of 5, so we've got the yellow ticked hen on the left and the clear buff cock on the right. Now you'll notice the youngsters have gone from these, so we're going to visit those very shortly, but we've got a nest rebuilt now and an egg in the bottom, as you can see. Now, you may recall last week actually they built a nest in the corner, and I removed that because it ended up where none of the eggs were even being sat. I do need to clean the bottom of the cage floor. We've only literally just moved the youngsters, so that's a job for today. But they have already rebuilt, and we've got them back on the first egg. So we'll probably get them fostering something as well, maybe some Redpolls or something of the sort. So we'll set their eggs soon. We're going to come to this pair relatively soon with the 2 greenfinch chicks, and we'll also do the same with this pair of satinets. Now, it's been an interesting week with the Norwich. As you just saw, the cockbird just literally went into the nest site. Now what I did is I took out the old nest and have left the hen to build new, so she's built this. And really where we're at is I've just
recently reintroduced the cockbird. As soon as I introduced him, she squatted for her, and she squatted for him, and he threaded her. So hopefully, if they are going to, you know, hopefully we'll get some full eggs from her. Obviously, with the cockbird now being reintroduced, she's already built up. As you can see, she's actually displaying a little bit now. And just like that's actually the Norwich threading. So what a great sight to see. Obviously the Norwich are a bit of a hard one. So we removed the male Norwich last week actually, and I put him in a flight and just left him to get fit. So he's now much fitter, much better condition. So hopefully he will fill those eggs this round. But the hen has rebuilt. She's still got a way to go yet, I believe. But fingers crossed we might get something from this pair of Norwich relatively soon.
So we also have the newly weaned young fifes in here now. So as you can see, we've actually got the buff ticked bird here. Behind it we've got the yellow clear, and then we have the little cinnamon down here as well. Now they're in with our yellow dimorphic chicks, which we weaned last week or the week before. So we're going to get some egg food in for those guys shortly, and hopefully they should take to that quite nicely. Obviously I have weaned them now, so they are feeding on their own, but we're just going to get some fresh egg food in for those guys soon. So now we're going to visit the Redpolls. Been a bit of an up and down week with them. Got some good news with them, got some bad news with them. So we'll visit all that now.
So we're going to start with this pair of normals. We've got the hen here, we've got the cock here. Now we removed the cockbird a few weeks ago now when the hen was on eggs because he was smashing eggs. Well, those eggs were full but sadly failed to hatch. Now we was left with two. She was sat on both of them. They were both full and they just failed to hatch. They were dead in shell. I floated them and just to see if there's any responses of them shaking in the water, and sadly there wasn't. So we're now just left to, we're gonna have to rebuild that nest, and fingers crossed the next will be full. We come down to this pair now. We've got a pair of cinnamons which sadly had the mishap last week with the eggs. They just didn't feed the chicks, and well, the hen is on 5 eggs now, so I'm pleased to report that. As you can see, all 5 are in there. So let's hope they're full as well. They were last round, so hopefully they are this round. We've got this pair now. We've got a normal hen to a normal split Feo cock, and we've still got no signs at all. As you can see, nothing from the nest at all, which is annoying, but you know, we might try and separate them for a week or so and then let her go another try, and hopefully it works out from that with these guys. We've got this pair up here. We've got the agate pastel cock to the cinnamon hen. They had clear eggs as well for the second round now. So we removed the cockbird last week for several days and then reintroduced him. They mated immediately, so I'm glad to report that. But are those eggs full is going to be the question for the next round. Well, we've got one opportunity so far, so as you can see there's a little egg down there. So she just laid the first today of what's now going to be their third clutch. So let's hope that third time lucky we've got some full eggs, and I've had them on fertility vitamins as well, so fingers crossed. We've got the normal pied cock here to the cobalt hen. They keep building and keep dismantling, which is annoying, but I think we're just going to have to keep trying with them. Obviously we've just got to persist with them and let's hope it works. We've got this pair now. They built up, and they've been built up for about 2 weeks, and the hen's just not bothered going to the nest at all. So I've ended up just clearing the nest out and letting her rebuild. She is starting to rebuild, which is a good sign, but I think maybe it was just worth trying to get her to rebuild that nest, and hopefully it'll work this time round and we'll actually get some eggs. Now, this is an interesting pair. You may recall the hen as being the one who's had issues sitting. For whatever reason, she's off the nest at the moment, but it's probably just because I'm in here. So I will be getting out of here soon. But actually, she has 8 full eggs now. She went from laying a 3 and then a 3, not done anything with them, didn't even sit. We've tried a new nest site and she's now laid 8 and all 8 are full. So that would be really nice to get 8 full eggs from these guys all hatch, and we'll probably end up fostering a few out under Canaries also, and just hopefully that works. Coming down to this pair, now this is the most promising pair. We've got the normal pastel cock to the cobalt hen, and they have 6 full eggs. I'll just see if I can get the hen to move. As you can see there, they are due out in a few days' time. They're all full, so that would be nice to get some young Redpolls finally, after a bit of a rough start so far this year with the Redpolls. And then we'll come down to this pair. Now we've got an agate hen to a normal split agate, split cinnamon, split Isabel as well, and probably split pastel cock. We know the hen is a split pastel as well, so that would be nice. We might get all sorts from this pair. They have built a full nest now, but we're yet to have an egg. So fingers crossed with those guys as well. Let's hope their eggs are full when they lay. And I can't see it being too long before that hen actually lays. So we'll see how they get on. So now we come to the final and 10th pair of Redpolls. As you can see, we've got the cobalt cock here. We bred him last year. And we've got the cinnamon hen bred from a brown pastel last year. She is in the nest. She's completely built up this week, which is really exciting. So I'm hoping in the next few days we might be able to welcome some eggs from this pair, but that would be lovely. Obviously a really nice coloured cinnamon hen there. Obviously she's split for pastel / brown pastel, so we'll see how they get on. Fingers crossed again, and let's hope their eggs are full. So as you've seen, been a bit of an iffy start with the Redpolls, but we're just going to have to see how we get on from there. It's always about changing things as well, so if something isn't working clearly for one pair, we need to change something. So what needs to be changed? Well, I think we're going to have to do something with this pair, which is the Feo carrying normal cock to the normal hen. Probably just split them up, maybe chuck them in separate flights, give them some time apart, put them back together, and let's hope they click. For other pairs, well, all other pairs are building and showing interest in building other than that pair, so we'll just have to see what happens. But although it's been a slow start with the Redpolls, just let's persist, and I just hope that with a bit of nicer weather, which hopefully should come in the next few weeks, they will actually start and the ball will start rolling. We will end up with quite a few nice little Redpolls, which would be nice. So it's been an interesting week with the Greenfinches now. We've got all 5 of the normal pied chicks have fledged. So we're going to have a look at them in just a second. They're in that cage down there, which were reared by the Satinette No Colours. We've also got the youngsters from the pair outside, the top pair, so we're going to have a look at those guys, and we've got the youngsters being fostered by a pair of fifes down here, so we're going to take a look at them so far. We've also got some more nests to visit, so some good news from that, so we'll have a look at those just after we look at the youngsters. So you can see we've got the Satinettes here, we've got the cock here. I think he's going to need a bit of a bath. I did put a bath on earlier. He clearly didn't go for it, and then we've got the hen down here. Well, I've also just removed the nest site from here. I've just done that so you guys can actually see better. We've got all 5 Greenfinch chicks have now actually jumped the nest, which is nice. We've got 4 pieds and 1 normal, I believe, so you can see that's a pied chick there. We've got some pied around the face and on the flights. We've got a little pied chick down here, similar again. And then we've got the other 3 actually down in this corner. You've got the normal to the left. Oh, and there you are. But that is all the greeny chicks actually now fledged. from this pair. I don't think they've left the nest prematurely. I came home actually early, and they've only just fledged today, and all 5 were actually on the floor. So they are literally just learning to fly and get around themselves. The parents have got a busy job now, going around the cage having to feed all 5, but they'll get there. Obviously the chick, it's not a massive cage. We are literally in a wire breeder here for these guys. So, but you can see the chicks down there, a few of them, and we'll just have to see how they get on. So we'll visit those guys next week when I'm sure they'll be steady on the feet in the perches. So we've got the pair of feeders to visit now. We saw last week that we had a young pied hatch from them, which was a really nice surprise, and that was followed by the egg which we fostered as well. So we've got 2 young greenfinches under these guys, which I think's done quite nicely, because with them being first time parents, they have done a spectacular job of feeding the youngsters, which I'm really pleased at. So as you can see there, we've got the youngster which actually fledged, was in that push to the side egg. That's the normal from the really good pair of exhibitions, and then we've got the pied there. Now I really do like the look of this pied. It's got a bit of symmetrical markings going on. We've got look at the piedness on the head above the beak, and it's got pied flights. I believe 3 or 4 on each wing, just by the look of it so far, and then 1 in the centre of the back. Now, I rung these about 3 days ago, and the rings were quite tight, so they were about 4 or 5 days old at that point. So I'm really pleased to report that these guys are doing well. The parents are doing an amazing job, so we'll see how these are in next week's video, and I imagine it won't be far off from these guys actually leaving the nest. So it's not like these guys are, we're getting a great look at these guys, but as you can see, we've got 4 healthy little greenfinch chicks in there. Running them at 4 days old, and the rings were quite tight actually, and they were E-rings obviously as well. So really big chicks, these guys, and the parents have done an amazing job so far. But they're looking really good. They're looking really promising. Some good colour to them as well, and good sized chicks. Considering they're only about 8 to 9 days old so far, so really promising signs. So hopefully they'll be on the sticks by next week, and we'll just have to see how they get on. But looking promising so far.
So we've had really positive signs from both pairs of greenfinches in here. We've obviously got the normal hen to a pied cock bird in both. So it's been an exciting week actually. In this first pair we've got the pied cock who split agate with the normal hen, who is arguably I think the better pair of pieds. They are on I believe 5 eggs. I've not candled them, but I can't see a reason why they won't be full, considering the last clutch were full. So they've been sat on those about a week now, so really late next week is when the eggs will be due. So fingers crossed all goes well there. And then we've got news on this pair. Now you may remember last week we spoke about how the nest site clearly wasn't suitable for the hen. She just didn't like the presentation of it. And what we obviously have there is a cocoa fibre liner, and literally just a perch around that and some cover. Well, I think that the cover wasn't substantial enough and she wasn't happy to nest in that. So what we did, we put a external nest, a wire external nest around that, and put some fake ivy on that, and it seems to have worked. It's clicked. She's built a nice nest now, a proper nest rather than a scraggy one that she pulls out. And I believe she's got 5 eggs underneath her that are all full by the look of it. She's been sat really well. Both hens have been sat really well. So I think so far the greenfinches this year are onto a winner. They've, we've already got 11 youngsters out of the greenfinches, and we've got probably 10 more due out in this round. And I can't see a reason why I might not have another 2 rounds after this, but let's not count as chickens before they've hatched. We're going to see how they get on, and hopefully some youngsters for next week.
So now we're going to visit the goldfinches and the bullfinches. So as you can see, the goldfinches, both hens, are now showing interest. We've got the hen with 1 foot actually. She has been showing interest, started building. If you can see just up there, we have the agate hen. She is building as well. So we've got both goldfinch hens building. The goldfinch cock filled those eggs from the agate hen, but sadly, obviously, we just had an issue. They didn't hatch. But that's good. Now, you'll notice the bullfinch hen in the far corner. Well, I've candled her eggs and all 3 are full. So I'm delighted that we'll hopefully have some young bullfinches hatching, and they could even be Goldie Bullies, because obviously we've got the goldfinch cock in there as well. So as we know that the bullfinch cock up there, he is a normal split for pastel, so we do get pastel hens from this pair, which we had proved last year. But we also have the opportunity from that to get Goldie Bullies. We'll get normal cocks, which could be also split for pastel. We'll get normal hens and pastel hens. So we'll have to see how they get on, but I'm really pleased that we've got some full eggs. Just 3 eggs now, but you know what? She's a 4-year-old hen. I think we can let her off, especially for the first round. So we'll see how she gets on, and we'll check up on her next week.
Last week we moved the Siskin pairs about, so we had the crossbill pair, 2 pairs actually in the flights, and they just didn't get started, which was really annoying. So we decided to move the Siskins from these cages out to the flight. So we've got 1 pair in a flight actually connected to this bird room, and the other out in one of the larger flights. Well, the pair which are connected, which are in the flight, which are connected to this bird room, have actually got 3 eggs. So I'm really pleased that we've got that so far. Clearly they just weren't happy in the cages they were in, which is fine, fair enough. So actually moving them out into the flight seems to have brought them on. Obviously the cockbird, he's getting fitter. The hen, she just clearly wanted a bit more of a larger place to bring up a family. So we put the nest in there last week, and we've got a full nest now. We're on the 3rd egg today. Now I am having to keep an eye on them. I've removed the eggs and replaced them with pot eggs, just for the sake that I don't want the Siskin cock smashing them, because they are, you know, notorious for doing so. So I've actually got them up in a nest up here, and we've got the fake eggs in there. And then what we'll do is we'll probably remove the Siskin cock, bring him in a cage in here or somewhere, and just keep him out of the way, so that Siskin hen can sit those eggs and hatch them by herself, because I think that would be the best thing. Obviously the other pair we've not had anything from yet, but hopefully soon, time will tell. We might have something from those guys as well, so fingers crossed for that as well. So it's been quite an exciting week now with the mule and hybrid pairs. We've obviously got a pair up here which I've actually had to change about a bit. We had the Greenfinch hen in here with a Norwich cock. The green Norwich cock is actually here, and the eggs were clear, and I think the Norwich cock, I mean, now he's come round a bit, but he took a bit of a turn for the worse. He injured his foot somehow, and he was just sat on the floor, not really doing much, and it wasn't obviously disease, I could tell, because he was limping. So I had to make the decision, well, I don't want to waste a Greenfinch hen, what can we do? And then I realised we have a crossbill cock spare. We actually have 2 crossbill cocks spare, so what I've decided to do is take the crossbill cock out, who is a last year's bird. He's there now, and we'll just try for Greenfinch, crossbill Greenfinch, and fingers crossed it happens, fingers crossed it works. You know, if it does, that's great, and if it doesn't, then we'll try something else. But I'm going to leave those 2 as a pair now for the rest of the year. No changes to that. They are getting on quite well, to be honest. I've actually seen the crossbill cock feeding the hen, which I was really surprised at, considering I only had them together for
only a few days at that point, but I think the crossbill cock, he's in condition. He's wanted to breed for several months now, and the crossbill hen he was in with just wasn't wanting to. I don't think the pair actually bonded, the crossbill cock with the crossbill hen, so I just thought, well, we'll give it a try. So it's now just a case of letting that Greenfinch hen rebuild a nest, letting her go down, and let's just hope that those eggs might be full. They're looking fit. It is looking promising because he has been feeding her, so that's great. Now we've got some even more exciting news. I am over the moon with this, and it's a hybrid that's not often spoke about or what, or often tried. And the reason being is because you're putting a red ground bird with a green or yellow ground bird, and that is our Siskin cross Redpoll pair. Now, you may remember that she had some eggs last week. Well, we divided off the Siskin cock with a mesh divider. We put the eggs underneath the Redpoll hen, set those beneath her, and she's got 4 eggs in there. Now, I candled them a few days ago, and all 4 eggs are full. So this is my first try at hybrids, really. Obviously, we had the Greenfinch crossbill hybrid pair, but we never got any eggs off that pair before we lost the hen. So this is my first try. We've got the normal Siskin cock with the cinnamon Redpoll hen. They've got 4 full eggs, which are due out late next week into the following week. So it'll either be next week's video you see them, or the following week. So let's just hope that they hatch and all goes well with them. The hen's been getting on fine. She's been sitting them so well, so I am really pleased that we've got something from this pair. My first hybrids, so we'll see how they get on. We have this hybrid mule pair even. So we've got the Norwich hen with the Goldfinch cock. Now they had 4 eggs, all whom were clear, which is very annoying, but does happen. So I've just left her to rebuild now. She's going to rebuild, hopefully, and let's hope the next round that she actually has full eggs from them. So we've got a pair which are looking a bit more promising for the Goldfinch mules. We've got the new colour cross hen with this Goldfinch cock. She has rebuilt now. We haven't got an egg yet, but she's actually been sat quite a lot. So I'm hoping that this is a pair that might click, hopefully, and work, and we'll just have to see what happens. But it would be very nice if we could get a few Goldfinch mules off this pair as well. Hi guys, now quick little extra for you in today's videos. Now I'm up on the walls near Sheffield, and I'm coming bird watching, and this is something I usually do just for a bit of fun, bit of relax. Well, if you listen closely, there's a cuckoo out in the moorland. So now I'm going to try and call for it, and we'll see if we can get it to respond. So that is a cuckoo. Now, they've only just recently arrived from Africa. So this is one of the first ones I've seen. I managed to spot it about 2 days ago, actually really high up in a tree, and had to actually got a photo of it through my binoculars. Terrible. So that does bring us to the end of this week's video. So I hope you've enjoyed it and found some useful tips. Now, it's been a bit up and down again this week with this episode 6 of Breeding British Birds. The Redpolls have been annoying. The Greenfinches have been great. Obviously, we've got youngsters now on the sticks. We've got more youngsters in the nest, so that's exciting. We've got some full eggs from the Redpoll, so that's some good signs. Obviously, really excited and happy about the hybrid pair with those having full eggs, Siskins on eggs, all sorts like that. So let's hope with a bit of a change in weather. It's been quite terrible this past week. We've had thunderstorms, lightning, heavy rain, hail and everything, so I'm just hoping that the weather's just going to click soon, and we'll have a nice warm summer. And if we do, then really that should bring on the birds. So anyway, if you have enjoyed today's episode and you'd like to see more, please subscribe down below and leave us a like on this video so I get to see that you guys have enjoyed it. Please hit the notification bell and share this video with someone who you think would enjoy it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.